Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back to another series on the practical system that keeps you visible as a business owner. This afternoon, I'll be talking about a very important system. Don't forget that last week I talked about the clarity system, and this afternoon I want to talk about a very important system. So I want you to stick to the video to the very end. What I want to talk about this afternoon is basically the content pillar system. So when we say content pillar, what does it mean? Content pillar basically means the core topics that your content consistently revolves around. So as a business owner, for you to stay visible, you have to invest in your content pillars. These are the topics that guides what you project, what you teach, what you post, and the values that you give out to your audience, and especially what your audience expects from you. So your content pillar helps you to itemize professionally the things that you need to give out, the values you need to give out, how you need to give them out, and when to give them out. This guides your post, helps you to dish out professionally, help you to stay as an authority, and help your audience to expect things from you. Now, if you are consistently visible and people cannot predict the values that you give out, then your visibility is becoming a waste. Visibility, take note of this, that visibility is maintained by systems, not by inspiration. Visibility is maintained by systems and not by inspiration. So you don't just pick up your camera and begin to tell us today you're talking about sports, next tomorrow you're talking about education, next tomorrow you're talking about teenage love. Be specific. That was why I taught you clarity before I talked about the content pillars this week. Now, what are content pillars? There are different examples of content pillars, but we're talking about 3 or 4, and then you can make your research to know better. And the first one I'll be talking about is the education pillar. So you can, when you're choosing your content pillar, you can decide to go through the education aspect. So what is education? We all know what education means now. Impacting knowledge. That's what education basically means. That is to say that you are teaching what you know. Another content pillar is your personality pillar. So that one might be you just telling people how your afterlife, your life looks like outside work. Probably your after work, your behind the scene, how you treat, how you go out, how you enjoy your day after work. And there is another pillar, content pillar, that you can project and talk about, and that is your authority pillar. Authority means how you make things work. That is your real life arc on things. So probably you are a business owner, you are a creative person, and you do things, so you can decide to teach people about how your acts work, like your real life system acts, that people can follow through and they can learn and they can at least get the same results. And finally, I'll be talking about your offer. Offer is another content pillar that you can teach people, and offer is basically how you sell things, how you project yourself, how you appear to people as a business owner, and how people get to patronize you. So quickly, I want to talk about 4 ways of investing in your content pillar. So how do you invest in your content pillar? The first one I'll be talking about is list out your content pillar. I told you the other time that visibility is maintained by systems and not by inspiration. So you have to be intentional. Make sure that the first thing you have to do if you want to invest in your content pillars is that you list out your content pillar. Your content pillar may be 3 and they might be extended maximum to 5, but make sure that you list them out. When you itemize them, it helps you to take one step at a time and one goal at a time. You can read the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. You will learn that. So the second thing is assign specific days, dates, weeks or months for each content pillar. So if I'm talking about religion, I'm talking about education, and I'm talking about authority, I can decide to say the whole of January I'm talking about education, the whole of February I'm talking about faith, the whole of March I'm talking about business. So this way, when you assign specific days, weeks or months for your content pillar, it helps your audience to know what to expect. And the third one is that you rotate them professionally. You rotate every pillar regularly and professionally. This makes you stand as an authority. So not like last week you're talking about faith, this week you're talking about business, next week you are getting your audience confused. So you have to rotate them professionally to let people know what they expect. So it will already register in their hearts that next month on Ibuko Esther's YouTube channel we'll be learning on faith, and then the following month we'll be learning business. So those that are your business audience will prepare their hearts ahead of the month. And lastly, review the content that brought you leads and more engagement, then repeat what works. So when you itemize your content pillars, you know the ones that you need to put in the work into. So you have to review the content that brought you engagement and leads, and then you repeat what works. You know what this does to you? It keeps your audience engaged without confusion, and it positions you as an authority. Once again, thank you for joining, and I will see you next week. My name remains Ibuko Esther. Bye.